I'd like to move on to our next issue, which is the closing of the Okura Hotel, one of the foremost hotels in Asia. It is the original 5-star hotel. It is under demolition now to be rebuilt in anticipation of the 2020 Olympics. They have bling, Michael. If you want to have one of those lamps that was at the Okura table, or maybe even in the Imperial Room, they have pillows that are embossed with some of the Imperial symbols. You can bid on them now. They're having an online auction. It is generating an awful lot of attention. What do you think?
I'll pass.
You'll pass.
I was born in the 1960s, and I have been marching away from them ever since. The Okura never did. The Okura was a monument to 1960s design.
Quiche.
And it's not kitschy, but it was certainly frozen, like in amber. And that made it beloved of a lot of people, and a lot of people involved in design. And those design people, I guess the Okura is trying to entice them to, buy a piece of your memories and your history. Whether they're going to generate any money at all from these auctions, I'm not sure. Nevertheless, the Okura was blessed both by being the scene of one of the Bond movies, one of the early ones, and of course by its amazing location.
Right across from the U.S. Embassy and the ambassador's residence.
So that whenever a U.S. delegation would come, or the president would come, there would be a small part that would stay within the embassy compounds, but the vast majority of the staff and everyone would stay at the Okura.
There's 2 wings on the upper floor of the south wing. One is the Imperial wing, and the other is the presidential wing. And whenever the president comes here, he stays at the presidential suite. It's a massive suite. It's got 6 rooms right adjacent to it where Secret Service can park their bags.
I don't know anything about these secret rooms. So
yes,
I have no advanced knowledge of that.
I mean, the Okura was built for that kind of a thing. I mean, it was built. It's on a prime piece of Tokyo real estate.
The service there was extraordinary. It may have not have been entirely up to the standards of modern hoteliers, and that's basically why we're seeing what's going on with the demolition of the main building. For a lot of people, though, it's just part of the loss that is always ongoing in Tokyo. We have, right now, what generated a lot of interest recently was a request to preserve many of the wooden buildings in the Tsukiji area as something worthwhile, and in terms of preservation, that UNESCO gets involved. Now, mentioning UNESCO, of course, brings up the other situation that we're going to probably be talking about later, which is the UNESCO brouhaha that's brewing in the government based on the Nanjing documents.
Okay, you're really trying to get me into that issue. I want to talk more about the pillows and the things that are for sale in the Okura Hotel. So can I just tell you a little bit about, if you want to register for that, they have you jumping through 5 or 6 hoops. And the reason why I think the Okura is doing that is because it is such an icon, and people have a special place in their heart for the hotel. I mean, 5-star hotel, the only 5-star hotel in Asia for many, many years. There are now probably 6 of them in Tokyo alone. But they had the same experience when they did the demolition of the Imperial Hotel, which was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. And they were selling bricks and pieces of mortar. I mean, that was huge. What was that, 20 years ago?
It was a long, long time ago. And while I can understand wanting a piece of Frank Lloyd Wright, I'm not thrilled by the Okura. So I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay. All right. With that, and I bow to your preference to move on to the UNESCO issue, let's move on to UNESCO.